And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Marty's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The round is burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email.
We're in Australia this week. Throwback to an era when most motorsports events were staged on public roads. Located just outside of Bathurst, New South Wales, we're at the 4-mile Mount Panorama circuit. Originally carved out of the hills in the 1930s, this national employment relief effort built the biggest facility in Australia for motorsports. And live from the virtual Mount Panorama, it's BMW Car Club of America, NCC Sim Racing, here tonight. So taking a look here at Bathurst, New South Wales in Australia, 3.86 miles, 23 turns, and tonight we're going to have 2 heats as usual. The feature inverting the top 12 finishers. 20 minutes or 20 laps, most likely going to be that 20-minute mark that we're going to reach here tonight as we get set to go down and pace on the racetrack. Let's take you through your grid. We got some drivers already lined up. Matthew Guazinda is going to start on the pole with Adam Pole on the outside. Perry Duncan, Dean Thuline, the second row. Third row is going to belong to Harley Lewis with Peter Lanik in 6th. 7th spot, Aaron Detrich, Darren Treacle in 8th. Top 10, Brian Kennedy and Colin Kortanik. So they come down to the final corner just before the start-finish line. Left-hand turn, David Curtis and Matthew Guazinda. Bruce Wiley and Mike Nickham rounding out your field here tonight. So getting ready to go green. Got the starter cam, green flag up in the air. And we're live and racing. Into Hell's Corner. David Curtis getting a decent run there on the exit. Able to hold off Colin Kortanik, but it's Matthew Guazinda leading them up the hill. Out the Quarry Bend, the first right-hander of this circuit. Everyone seems to be getting through it okay. And now up the hill, actually some contact back there and a car flips over. That's Clint Fletcher. It clogs up quick here, folks. And a bunch of cars involved in that. Harley Lewis, Dean Thuline, Perry Duncan involved. Looks like Adam Pole, who started outside. He was involved. And that car is cambered. It is broke. Clint Fletcher going to have to park it for the night. Not going to make it back around. Bruce Wiley, Mike Nickham. So a lot of cars involved in that. Let's go back on the instant replay and take a look. Let's ride it on board here with Adam Pole. Got to see what happened here. If there was contact. It looked like they were all getting through it. Car hits the outside wall. That was Fletcher, I think. Maybe Dean Thuline, but yeah, big problems here early in this race. Put the ticker up on your screen here. While we were on that commercial break, they really only got about halfway around. They're coming around for their first lap. And there's the 52 of Guazinda that's going to lead the first time by. Hot on the tail, though. We've got David Curtis all over the back bumper. He hasn't backed down yet. Possible pass back here for the 4th position. And we got a few drivers that are gapped. This is actually Brian Kennedy coming down pit road. My timing and scoring lighting up green for some drivers passing. The 77 getting involved in that as well. So Harley Lewis, Clint Fletcher, Dean Thuline, Perry Duncan involved in that. I think Brian Kennedy got a piece of it as well. There's Bryce Wiley having no hood on the front end of that 67. Just a hard hit there, and that's the corner it happened in. We want to go on board with some of these guys and show you how tight the downhill is into the dipper on this track. It is very blind. It's hard to see where you're going here around this corner especially. See many instances of cars getting stranded in the middle of that corner after losing control, and drivers coming around that blind corner, they just T-bone them. You have no choice. You don't even know they're there until you're right on them. A lot of the businesses and houses at this racetrack are not accessible during race events. They have to use the actual racetrack like a normal public road, which is another neat, I guess, characteristic of this facility. Back here with the 7th place Adam Pohl. Brought out a Ford GT here tonight. Guazinda actually pulls away from Curtis about 1.2 seconds. Peter Lanik down pit road. Not sure if he has some damage still or what exactly the call is here, but he's down in from the 7th position. Looks like maybe he got a penalty. He just kind of stopped in the stall and drove out. On board with David Curtis, trying to chase down that leader. There's not very many opportunities to pass in this portion of the racetrack. You can sometimes get guys at the crest of this hill, but for the most part, through this portion of the track, you're not going to try to pass. So Darren Treacle is sitting in this 4th position, right up on the back bumper of Colin Kortanik. 3rd and 4th, and Curtis in the 2nd. Haven't left each other's company since the green flag flew about 6 minutes ago. And it takes about 2 minutes or seconds to get around this track. Pass now for 3rd. Treacle on the outside as they go into the final 2 corners. Able to get the pass done, and a change for 3rd now. Curtis able to pull away a little bit after that move. Let's go back here and look at Aaron Dietrich trying to catch up. He's about 2.5 seconds back from this pack. And into Hell's Corner, it is pretty big split back there to Adam Pohl. About 4.5 seconds. So Gwizinda, who had a pretty good performance there last week at the Roval, looking even better here tonight in Bathurst. And a big spread now from second back to fourth. Colin Kortanik passes Adam Pohl, I do believe. So a change for fifth. I don't know if Pohl maybe made a mistake here. Little lock up on the tire there for Kortanik, but now catching up for the next position driver of Aaron Dietrich. So a few of these guys having troubles early into turn 2. Typically that happens in corner 1. It's the name Hell Corner, but here tonight, the spread on this field, all the way back to Clint Fletcher in the 13th position, is 37, almost 38 seconds back here. Actually, scratch that. 38 seconds from him to Dean Thuline. It is a minute 40. On the verge of going a lap down now for the 69. There's Thuline in 12th. Harry Duncan in the number 8. So all these drivers get set pretty far back. Fortunately for them, inverting the top 12 will bring some of these drivers back up front to start this race, and maybe they won't get caught up in some business in the second heat. Not a lot going on the racetrack. Everybody's got a pretty big split. Adam Pohl starts to catch back up to Colin Kortanik. Slowly working his way back up here. He's now within a half a second. A little clip to the wall there. For Kortanik, touches it again. And now Pohl is knocking on the back bumper. Down the chase straight. Doesn't have quite the momentum. That Ford GT just doesn't look like it has the speed here. And usually slipstreaming down this backstretch and get you a pretty good advantage coming down that hill. He's going to peek to the outside into the final corner. Murray's corner. Gets a bad exit there, and it looks like Kortanik going to hold on for another lap. Peter Lanik has caught up to the back of Bruce Wiley with all that damage on the nose of that machine. It's a wonder it's even out there. The entire front clip, fenders, hood, completely gone from that machine. Aerodynamically, it's going to hurt him down this straightaway. You're probably going to see that BMW peek out here just momentarily. There it is now. Into the second corner now. Up the hill, it looks like Peter Lanik is going to get by. That was for 8th spot. A little tag with the wall there. And again, very tight corners at this track. Catching up to Mike Nickham now. About 1.8 seconds back to the 7th position. Treacle has shaved the lead down a little bit. 1.6 seconds as they go down the chase straight. But the downhill, seems like the Ferraris are struggling a little bit in the high-speed sections of this track. Look at that corner exit into the chase. That was clean. Guazinda gets about 0.3 of a second through that one portion of the track. Dietrich now catching up to Colin Kortanik, or Kortanik back there with pole. So third, fourth, fifth, sixth, starting to shape up some battles. Remember, Pole caught up in that early accident. Set him back a good 10 seconds now to the lead, and he was over 20 seconds after that turn 2 incident. Now slipstreaming with the back of Kortanik. Into the second corner. Not able to get quite the exit he wanted here. Still side by side as they go up the S's. And able to complete the pass. Adam Pole into the top 5. Curtis starting to pull back away from Dietrich. And Treacle now has the lead down to under a second. So through the technical spots, Guazinda starting to struggle a little bit. Watch this entry into this corner here. Right there, he picks up a 10th. You see on the left-hand side of your screen. He gets through this part of the track really well. Coming to Murray. Lead shaving back down. It looks like those hard left-hand corners, those 90s, are what affects Guazinda the most. And Treacle starting to shave that lead back down to 0.8 of a second. So through this technical spot, we would expect to see the 70 right up on the back bumper when they come out of Murray's corner. And a little turbulence there. Doesn't quite get the front wheels to hook up, so he loses some ground. We were just on board with him. And it looked like the nose of that thing kind of floated up over the hump on that crest and pushed it to the outside. He wasn't able to get back to the throttle, getting that car to hook up. On board with him again. Try him. He's got him down to 0.8 again. Guazinda just so solid and consistent so far in this race. There it is, stretching back out to 1.1 seconds through the chase corner. David Curtis has company again. Aaron Dietrich hot on his tail for third. Into Murray they go. But of all the laps we've completed here tonight, 8 of them to be exact, 3 minutes left, guaranteed white flag next time by. Wazinda leading all 8 of those. Down to 0.6 of a second now. Treacle's starting to chip away again. But just through certain sections of the track, giving that all back. Here he is now really making a run for it as they start up the crest. And down the skyline into the S's. 0.4 of a second separating these two. Locking up the wheels there for Wazinda. With the good portion of the racetrack coming up for him. He might hang on to it one more lap. Back here with Dietrich. Not a lot going on this racetrack right now. The guys that get within a couple tenths of each other and then give it all back. Into Murray now. Or the chase, rather. Big move here to the inside for Treacle. He's got the nose in there. Might make a pass for the lead. And does it. White flag up in the air now. And one more time around, Wazinda gives up the lead on the last lap. Into the slipstream, into turn 2. Now to the outside as they go into this corner. And Wazinda get back at him. Battling hard, takes it out wide and loses a lot of ground. He doesn't get it. And Treacle starts to pull away. 0.6 now, up to the S's. How about that? Treacle just methodically planning this out for the final lap. Let's see what he's got as he pulls out almost a full second. Looks like he's going to wrap it up here. Unless he makes a major mistake. He's got the speed now to pull away from Treacle. Treacle going to have to get in that slipstream on the downhill into the dipper. But he's going to have a perfect exit if he wants any chance to try to pass him back. You can see him locking up those wheels, trying to get the speed up. Probably not close enough here to get any draft. Here comes Treacle for 3 more corners. Little battle brewing behind them as you see David Curtis, Dietrich, all those, but coming off of the final corner, your winner here tonight is going to be Darren Treacle. Back here to Dietrich. Not able to get around. David Curtis able to hold on. And Adam Pohl. Perfect flip on the back of that car. So it's Darren Treacle getting heat number 1 here tonight. Final finishing order. Let's put those results up on your screen. You had Matthew Wazinda coming in second. David Curtis, Aaron Dietrich, Adam Pohl, Colin Kortanik, Mike Nickham. The driver's still getting around this place, but a pretty good spread. Bruce Wiley, Brian Kennedy, Perry Duncan outside of that top 10. Dean Thuline, Clint Fletcher and Harley Lewis parking it behind the wall early in the race. The car's stuck in the wall here. That would be Bruce Wiley. Let's see if we can get a quick interview here with the number 70 winner here tonight, Aaron Treacle. It would appear that Treacle is not in the Discord. So, no word with him. We're going to take a quick commercial break here as we re-rack him, get the warm-up in. You're watching the BMW Car Club of America live on V-Speed. We'll be back right after this.
From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh!
No, it's burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Swag.
Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
Back here live at Mount Panorama in Bathurst, South Wales, Australia. And we're getting set to grid for our second heat, the main feature of the night. Dean Thuline going to start on the front row next to Perry Duncan. Take you through your grid now. And it's broken, so imagine that. Go down here on the racetrack. You've got Brian Kennedy, Bruce Wiley, the second row. Peter Lanik, Mike Nickum, row number 3. Row number 4 will be Colin Kortanik with Adam Pohl, Aaron Dietrich, and David Curtis, rounding out the top 10. Matthew Guazinda, Darren Treacle, Clint Fletcher, and Harley Lewis. So 14 cars back out on the racetrack. Hopefully we can make it through the second corner without problems. Keep some of these guys grouped up and see some battles inside this top 5. Pace car going to make that left-hand turn. And off of the final corner out of Murray. Green flag up in the air. And NCC Sim Racing's BMW Car Club of America is back live for your main feature. Now into turn 2. Let's see if all these drivers can make it through. Side by side for the lead, Thewline and Duncan. Thewline gets around on back through. Looks like they've shaped it up a little bit better this time by. A lot of scrambles for positions. Brian Kennedy trying to get around. It looks like Perry Duncan getting a pass. Bruce Wiley up 2 spots already from where he began. Clint Fletcher up 6 positions from where he began, just in a few corners. But this field staying very grouped up this time. At the lead, on point right now, Dean Thewline. Side by side there with Duncan to start this race. Duncan has fallen back to 3rd. And car in the wall, that's Bruce Wiley in the 67. And not a good place for that to happen. Able to keep it out of trouble, though. Side by side now with Peter Lanik into the chase. Just in front of them, Duncan trying to get back by. Brian Kennedy goes by and a car gets turned. Another car gets turned. That's Clint Fletcher in the 69. He was just checking up, trying not to get into the back of him. Let's go back on the instant replay. There's the checkup that gets him booted. I believe that was Colin Kortanik that got into the back of him. And now Peter Lanik off the racetrack. He goes down pit road. Thewline has pulled out 2.8 seconds as they try to sort it out. Passing back here between Adam Pohl and Aaron Dietrich for 6th. Dietrich going to go back on the outside as they start up the S's. Doesn't have the run. Peter Lanik pulling it into pit road very early here. Just over 3 minutes into this race, Thewline pulls out 3.3 seconds. Might be burning the tires off that thing. We'll have to wait and see. Kennedy in 2nd position, Perry Duncan 3rd, Bruce Wiley 4th, and Colin Kortanik all over the back bumper in 5th. Remember, Wiley got into that outside wall on this portion of the track, but able to keep it together just long enough to not get rear-ended. There's Thewline coming through for his 3rd lap. Kennedy, Duncan going by as well. Everyone from 2nd place back. Pretty close together. You can see that gap growing a little bit more. Kennedy in the slipstream with Duncan they can work these straightaways and maybe catch up. .2 seconds as they start up the cutting here. Tag with the outside wall. Kennedy 3.6 seconds back. A lot of work left to be done here. The closest battle on the racetrack is Colin Kortanik on the back of Bruce Wiley. Everybody else kind of spread out. There's Darren Treacle behind David Curtis, about 2/10 back. Nobody really making any passes right now. This is in the 10th position for Treacle. He's able to get that stage first heat win. Now finds himself back in 10th. Has a lot of work to do. Adam Pohl gets around on the inside of Colin Kortanik just before the final corner. Dietrich also going around. Bruce Wiley falling back to 7th. Wiley going to get past again into Hell's Corner. Double contact there into the apex. And Nickham now trying to get by. Flashing some lights just in front of him. That was Dietrich in the 96. Side by side from 7th place back to 10th. David Curtis able to get by. Treacle finds himself in the middle of this battle. And some contact, and that sends Bruce Wiley, and now Treacle's around. Just before the S's. Trying to get it turned around here. Back one more time on our instant replay and see how this was shaping up. These guys were side by side for quite some time. That's very unfortunate there for the 70 of Treacle after getting that Heat 1 win. He's still driving it backwards. It's going to park it here. Going to come by to lead another lap. 4 laps led now for Dean Thuline. 3.6 second lead right now. Ryan Kennedy has not shaved any of that down, but Perry Duncan starting to climb closer to second spot. Has him down to about half a second. I'm just curious if any of these guys are actually watching the broadcast when they flash those lights down the straight. I would not be able to do that. Kennedy loses another 3/10. The lead grows to 4 seconds now for Dean Thuline. Perry Duncan loses a little ground as well. Stretches out to about 7/10. Adam Pohl, a full second behind this. But remember, Adam Pohl had a problem there in the first heat. See, we really haven't got to see what the 13 is capable of here tonight. No business really going on this racetrack. Closest cars to each other right now is Perry Duncan and Brian Kennedy. As they go into the chase, he shaves a little bit of that gap back off. Into Murray, it looks like it's going to be about 0.6 of a second. The two line. He's completed 6 laps now. Looking good with that clean air here. Had a rough start in Heat 1. It looks like it's cleaned up for him. Board now with Adam Pohl as he starts to shave away. He's catching up to Kennedy and Duncan as well. Here's the three of them battling, about 4/10 separating each of them. To force his elbow. Now down the long straightaway. You can see that lead for Dean Thuline. 4.1 seconds as he passes this section. Looking back here with Mike Nickham. Has caught up a little bit here to Colin Kortanik for the 6th position, currently running in 7th. We check back in with Darren Treacle. He's on pit road right now, trying to get back out there on the racetrack, but he has some front end damage on that machine. A quick repair, and Treacle back out on the racetrack. Here comes Thuline, though, to put him a lap down. Six minutes remain. Well, just over 6 minutes. Probably about 2 more times around this racetrack. We might get 1 more green flag lap after this one. Or have the white flag on the 3rd lap from here. There's Thuline getting through the technical spots. 4.2 seconds, maintaining that gap, doing a great job navigating the lap traffic. He's held on for every single lap completed. And coming up on lap number 8, the Thuline has checked out. Very tough to pass at this place. Through the slipstream, Brian Kennedy all over the back bumper is Perry Duncan for 2nd. Duncan has a bad entry to that corner, though, and now falls back to Adam Pohl. Pohl going to look to the inside, and Murray doesn't do it. Cuts it back down. Just so tough to pass here. Now gets a good run on the exit. Pohl saw that happening, backed it down, let him make the mistake, And now for third, Adam Pohl gets by Perry Duncan. Bruce Wiley, he makes a pass, and Mike Nickum is actually coming down pit road now. So turning up the heat here as Adam Pohl works his way into the top three. Brian Kennedy, the next one in line to get past if Pohl can catch up to him. Half a second separating these two cars. Still a 4-second gap, though, to Thulline. And now the mistakes being made by that Porsche in the second position. Kennedy tags the wall. Another little tag with the wall there on the skyline. These guys have grouped back up. .2 seconds back to Kennedy now. Looking like Thulline is going to run with it. He's got the lead since we started. He went to the outside of Perry Duncan into turn 2 and ran away with it. One more green flag lap. Big flag going to come out next time by 4.2 seconds. There's Darren Treacle that won the last heat. He's back in the 13th position here to wrap this up. One lap down. Unfortunately, gets involved there with the number, I believe that was the number 67 or 69 of Clint Fletcher. That Mike Nickum, I can't remember. I think it was Nickum actually bounced the wall. Not 100%. My brain just not working. It was Bruce Wiley in the 67. So I had it right the very first time. Wiley back in 8th right now. 22 seconds back from the lead. Battle for second, starting to heat up a little bit more. 0.2 of a second as they come up through the S's. A lot of work left to be done. Plenty of opportunity for Adam Pohl to get up in second spot. Little lock up there by Kennedy. He's feeling the pressure now. Into the slipstream. Adam Pohl gonna suck right up to the back bumper and try to make the pass into the chase. 4.5 seconds as they try to sort it out. Change for second position. Nobody is going to catch this car unless he makes a dramatic mistake in this last lap. White flag up in the air. Now, for Dean Thulline. You can see how far back these drivers are. Adam Pohl going to have to really turn up the heat if he wants to catch him. Clint Fletcher and Bruce Wiley might have an opportunity here for Fletcher to get up to 8th as they cross the line for the white flag. The gap of 4 seconds has stayed. It's at 4.5 through the technical S's and Thulline. As that lap car of Darren Treacle behind him, he's even gapping him now. Adam Pohl up 6 spots from where he began the race here tonight. Impressive drive there for the 13. Harry Duncan might have an opportunity. It looks like Kennedy's starting to handle a little ill here. Might have a chance to get into the slipstream. New line down the long stretch into the chase one final time around this circuit. He's been perfect tonight in the main feature. With that inverted top 12, he started up front, was able to hold on to the lead, and checks out 3.5 seconds as he backs it down a little bit into Murray to be safe. Off of the final corner for the final time, it's the 84 of Dean Thuline getting the win here tonight in the main feature. Adam Pohl brings it home second. Brian Kennedy third. There's Perry Duncan, Aaron Dietrich. Looking on back here, some racing still going on. We've got Bruce Wiley and Clint Fletcher into the final corner. Fletcher not able to get the run off, and Bruce Wiley's going to hold on to it for 6th. Here's Mike Nickum coming out of the chase for 11th. And they made sure to kill each other. Gonna take a quick word from our sponsors, round out your top 3 and get a quick word with them. You're watching the BMW Car Club of America, race number 6 here tonight. We'll be back right after this.
From the starting line to the finish line, and everything in between, Duncan Racing Designs is here to supply you with the livery you didn't know you needed. Let DRD help you look good so you can drive fast. Contact Duncan Racing Designs on Instagram, trading paints, or via email.
Back here for BMW Car Club of America, race number 6. They've concluded their race in Bathurst at Mount Panorama. And your second main feature here, the second stage of tonight. We have your top 3 down here in the pits. We're going to catch up here with the number 77 of Brian Kennedy. And Brian, it looked like it was tough to pass out here tonight. We saw a lot of action very early on the first lap, but then you guys spread out, and it looked like it was just tough without the slipstream to get any moves.
Yeah, definitely. It's, there's really only a few places to pass, and it's set up, at the beginning of the straights. The first one being that really sharp left-hander at the top of the hill. If you don't get that right, then you might get overtaken. And then those 2 90-degree turns at the bottom near the pit there, those are surprisingly difficult, and you get one little wrong, there's a long straight afterwards, and that can cost you the position. So that's about it. Yep, up through the hill, on the top of the hill, there's no way you're passing. So
yeah, we saw the blind spots in those those corners, and that really is one of the defining characteristics of Bathurst, is that you don't know where anyone is until you get out of those S's.
yeah, definitely.
So here tonight, you come home third. Had a little rough start there to that first heat. Looked like some guys there in turn 2 just bounced off the wall. What happened exactly?
Yeah, that's actually, I'm the one that started all that. So you could probably say I benefited in the second race because of the mayhem I caused in the first, because I ended up near the front of the grid second race. And no, I just was riding that curb on turn 2 and I couldn't get off it, and the car came around, and looked at the replay, looked like Aaron had to avoid me, and then there's some really bad net code. I think I'm forgetting who who got taken out there. It was Harley. Sorry. So I apologize to everyone for that, because I really kicked off that incident with me spinning out in the curb. So
That's unfortunate, but you are able to rebound. Third place finisher here tonight. Brian Kennedy, do you have anybody you'd like to thank and shout out tonight?
well, yeah, shout out to Mr. Tulane and his first win at a very tough track, and he was very fast and incident free. So that's congrats to him.
I've been pronouncing it wrong this whole time. Somebody tell me.
That's a tricky one. I think everyone calls him Thulane or Thuline, and then it's like Tulane. So now you can get it right when you interview him.
Tulane. That's the correct pronunciation.
Yep.
I want to get that right. Well, I appreciate your time, Brian. Thank you for the Hooked on Phonics lesson, and hopefully we see you next week.
All right, thanks, Bradley.
There he is, third place finisher here tonight, Brian Kennedy. Now in second position, it's Adam Pohl. And Adam in the 13, you fought your way. You fought 6 positions, and not a lot of other drivers can say that they passed that many cars. It was tough tonight.
Yeah, it was both races were fun. You just had to keep your nose as clean as possible and drive your line, and it helped that the Ford was a missile down the straights.
It looked like it was probably the best in the slipstream, but through the technical spots of this racetrack, talked a little bit about how we have blind corners. How much of a, I guess, gut-wrenching heart attack are you having when you're going through those sections trying to right on the back bumper of someone?
Yeah, I didn't spend a whole, over the top. I tended to drop back just a hair if I was close to someone. Just give yourself that bit of margin so you could see where you're going. But yeah, the car was strong, and I really enjoy that track. It's fun.
So the 4-mile racetrack here at Mount Panorama wasn't a problem. Adam Pohl getting another great finish. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out, Adam?
Just the league for setting this up and letting us have fun on a Thursday night together. So thanks to everyone who's coming out and racing clean, racing hard, and it makes for a really good time.
We appreciate it, Adam, and look forward to probably having you back up here in the broadcast booth. I think this is like the 5th or 6th time I've interviewed you. So
yeah, hopefully I won't be here next week, but maybe the week after that we'll talk again.
All right. We appreciate it, Adam. Good hearing from you.
Good night.
Second place finisher, Adam Pohl. And now, with my correct pronunciation, can't even say those words correctly, it's Dean. Is it Tulane or Thulane?
It's Tulane. As in not too fat, too lean.
Okay, so now we can put it up on the screen. Tulane, you get your first win of the season here, buddy, and it comes at a track that a lot of guys dread coming at.
Thanks, Bradley. Yeah, I dreaded it yesterday also when we did practice. I think I was second from the back, so I had to put in some learning today. Had a good qualifying, and then that first heat kind of got into the mix with everybody, which put me on the front row for the second race. And even though it was front row, man, that is tough to not wreck yourself out.
Yeah, it looked like the first heat, we'll put an asterisk on that. A lot of guys got involved in that are typically fast, and you included. You come out here in the second heat just driving away. 4.4 seconds at one point was the lead, and we didn't even see that from our first stage winner. Darren Treacle was able to catch up. But that was one of those things. You never really had anybody on your bumper. You just kind of ran your own race and kept it quiet.
Yeah, just trying to keep that rhythm going. I know on this track, if you change your rhythm, things go terribly. So I was trying not to change anything.
Like anything in life, you change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
That's right.
We appreciate your time. Dean, do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank for your first victory of the season?
Yeah, Bradley, thanks for broadcasting this for us. I'd like to give a big shout out also to SEOMike for supporting our league, and Duncan Racing Designs. It's been a great season so far, and hopefully we can keep going.
Outside of that, Dean Tulane, whatever I say at this point forward, I'm gonna practice it. It's just one of those English words that I'm gonna struggle with, and so I apologize for getting it wrong this far out. So the first win, I'll get it right from here on. Thank you for your time.
All right, thanks, Bradley.
Race winner here tonight, Dean Tulane in the point. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast here at Mount Panorama. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button here on V-Speed 2. And go check out V-Speed 1, just recently monetized. We're on the up and up. We've been working hard, and I would like to thank all the leagues that make this possible and make what we do enjoyable. And for everybody at BMW Car Club of America, let's bring up those final results. There's your race winner. Adam Pohl coming in second. Brian Kennedy third. Tulane just driving off. Even with that 3.2 seconds, that doesn't justify the lead. It was over 4.5 at one point. Harry Duncan's going to bring it home fourth here in the second feature. Aaron Dietrich in fifth. Colin Kortanik sixth. David Curtis, seventh position. Bruce Wiley eighth. Clint Fletcher ninth. And Harley Lewis able to get a top 10 after having that big wreck in the first heat. 11th position goes to Mike Nickum, Peter Lanik, and 12th, 13th spot will be Darren Treacle. Unfortunate after getting that first heat win. Gets wrecked into the S's up the hill. Finishes back in 13th. 14th will be Matthew Guazinda after starting up front. Falls all the way back to 14th in the second heat. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching tonight's broadcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single race. The BMW Car Club of America NCC Sim Racing is going to go live again next Thursday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Bringing that schedule up on my screen now to make sure I get this correct. I thought I had it. Struggling here to find it. But nonetheless, they will be going live at 8:15. Hope you guys can join us. But for everybody here at V-Speed, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Alec Martinez, and Connor Horn, this is Bradley Cooper signing off here tonight. Take care, everybody.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count up to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes
Slack.
Slack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag.